So there was this powerful story coming from Africa, and for a long while now, they've been some progress from Africa. A few African countries are trying to make an example for others to follow. Right? We can see countries like Tanzania. You have Rwanda, where Paul Kagame is doing his best to change the face of Rwanda. You also have countries like Ghana, with Nana Akufo-Addo also struggling to build the country. Now we have the Sahel nation that have decided that unity in numbers is stronger than division. The Sahel nations have decided to start talking about forming a federation. I am someone who has always had this opinion that a united Africa would be a great thing for all Africans. If Africa could have a common market, a common currency, a common passport, a common security system, and a common military, that would be so great for Africa. Africa would be strong enough to hold their grounds. Africa will be strong enough to have a place on the decision making table. But if Africa stays the way it is now, with the division and calling themselves 54 member states, they will be as weak as they have always been. So this move by the Sahel nation, I know this is just the talking phase, but just the fact that they are even thinking of something like this give you a lot of hope for a better tomorrow. The Sahel region is super rich with minerals, gold, oil, and all the like. And France has been exploiting those areas for far too long. France has taken almost everything from them. Just imagine, Niger has a lot of lithium, and you know how valuable that commodity is right now. Burkina Faso has a lot of gold reserve, and Mali do the same. Mali also has a lot of raw minerals. If only these countries can unite, have a common currency among themselves, have no borders, their people can move from one country to another. That would be great. Before we get to this story, I just want to celebrate and appreciate President William Ruto for canceling visa requirement for African passport holders. Now, if you are an African with an African passport, you can visit Kenya without applying for a visa. That is what we all should be working towards. I think Rwanda did the same thing, but let's continue. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger look to form a federation. They are thinking of forming a federation. And like I said before, the fact that this was even brought up gives me a lot of hope. The foreign ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger recommended on Friday creating a confederation is part of a long-term goal of uniting the West African neighbors within a federation. Very good. Very, very beautiful. The top diplomats of the Alliance of Sahel States met in Bamako for 2 days. Their discussions aim to flush out the workings of the new alliance, with the ministers emphasizing the importance of diplomacy, defense, and development to consolidate political and economic integration. Malian Foreign Minister Abdoulaye Diop said the recommendation will be submitted to each head of state, who are due to meet in Bamako at an unspecified date. The country's economy and finance ministers who met on late November advised creating a stabilization fund, an investment bank, and a committee that would study an economic and monetary union. Great. In mid September, the military leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger signed a mutual defense pact. This is excellent. You can see how hardworking these member states are doing. They are looking at the problem and they are immediately rendering solutions to it. How I wish all of Africa was as proactive as this. You see a problem, you immediately look for a solution. You don't sit there and ponder, procrastinate for year in, year out. You immediately render solution. If all these plans that these people are putting on the table went through, the Sahel would become one of the best areas in Africa because they have the means, right? Africa has the means to become a very successful and well-developed place. Like I have said before, the only problem we have had in Africa, apart from what the Westerners have done, like put proper leaders in place and also like steal and loot all our money and resources, is corrupted leaders. Leaders with no vision. Leaders who care just about embezzling all what the state has got. If we had a leader with vision in Africa, things will change. For example, before Magufuli of Tanzania died, what did he do in just like 5 years? He did a lot. He was even nicknamed the bulldozer because when he saw something and when he planned to do something, he did it. And it was done to the best. He wasn't like one of those leaders who never saw that projects were being done according to what it was written on paper. He made sure those projects were done. He changed the face of Tanzania. Likewise, what Paul Kagame is doing in Rwanda. He is changing the face of Rwanda. Even Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, who wasn't a saint, who had his own skeletons in his closet. He changed the face of Libya before Libya was destroyed by NATO and Barack Obama. Barack Obama was one of the people that supported NATO's invasion of Libya and totally ruined that country. Now we have the Sahel nations working together to fix their country. Now they are talking about a confederation of 3 states, a common monetary system, and maybe a common currency. These are excellent things that countries in Africa should be working towards. But you guys out there, when you hear stories like this from Africa about nations really looking at a problem and they're trying to figure out a solution, what is your take? Do you think that this confederation between these 3 African brothers is going to work out? What are some of the benefits that may come out of it? Share that thought and opinion with us in the comment section below. We love hearing what you have to say. Please kindly like this video and share it. And also do not forget to subscribe to this channel because it helps us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you.